Okay, in today's video, we're going to be doing a request from a customer. She wants to know how I mix my paints to do the pours, and these are all her colors, and hopefully she will like this canvas. But so first we're going to mix our paints, and then I may do a separate video of doing the pour, or I may do it all together. It just depends on how long this takes. First, I choose a cup. Here we go. For each color, and then the colors. So we're going to start out with her Enamels Aqua. When I mix my paint, I do a 2-to-1 ratio of floetrol to paint. So 1 part paint, 2 parts floetrol. And then I test how liquid it is. I'm trying to do it to where you can see. And I need it to be a little bit more fluid, so I'm going to add a little more floetrol. A lot of people add water, but it's worked fine for me adding floetrol. I used to add water, and I didn't like the way I'd get some caves in the paintings or some little divots. And since I switched over to just using floetrol instead of water, I don't get that anymore. Okay. Her second color is Lipstick Red, which is also a Folk Art Enamels. And see how creamy the enamels are? I don't know if you can really tell, but the enamels are thicker than the regular paints. I'll show you that when I go to mix my black and whites, because those are the only two for her pour that are not enamels. And that's probably why I end up putting a little more floetrol. Most people would add water, just because the enamels are a thicker paint. And I'm going to get each one to the right consistency. I'm going to speed up just a little bit so this video is not painstakingly long. Her next color is Yellow Light by Enamels. Which it seems that I am close to being out of. But the good thing about that is when I get to the end, after it sits, I can always put floetrol in the bottle and shake it up to loosen the rest of the paint out. But I have enough for right now. because the color that I'm doing next is going to be more dominant, hopefully, than all of these. But it's just a hope. Can't guarantee anything with fluid pours. You can do your best to make something dominant and use more of it, but it can hide on you. That one's way too thick. Okay. Okay, and so her hope is that the metallic antique copper will be a main point. And I already had used some in an earlier video, so since my cup is still wet and very fluid, I'm going to reuse it. I normally don't reuse cups, but because it's the same day within less than 30 minutes of using it, I'm going to use it. See how much more fluid that is than the enamels? That literally just pushes around itself. The enamels won't. 1 part paint, 2 part floetrol. Let me wipe my arm. I still stuck my arm in wet paint. The purpose of this tray today for this video is because I did a couple pours earlier and I really like some of the stuff that's underneath. And since I do use skins for jewelry, I decided to put the tray so I can still work and still show you the mixing, but that I don't mess up the wet paint for my future skins. Nice and fluid. And then all we have left is we want to do a little bit of white and a little bit of maybe black. I'm not sure if we're going to do black. And again, I still have a little bit of white left over from the previous pour earlier. It's a gloss white, and I'm using gloss with the enamels because all of the enamels are gloss, and I want it to kind of match. You don't want to throw a matte in with a bunch of glosses and just have it take over. Okay, now the 3 main colors, the 3 bright colors, not the white, we're going to add silicone to. Use the OGX coconut milk serum, and you don't even use a full pump because that pump is long, so I mean a full pump is quite a bit. You just use 1 little squirt in each, and it smells amazing. And you stir 5 or 6 times. You don't want to over stir it, but you do want to make sure that it's in the paint and not just sitting on the side in a glob. And then I'm also going to put some in the metallic, but because there's twice as much metallic paint as most of the other colors, we're going to put just a little extra in the metallic paint, just because I want to make sure it gets all the way to the bottom and in all of the paint. And that is a lot of paint to get in. Okay. And that is how I mix my paints. And this is a long video already, so what I'm going to do is cut the video, and then we're going to, the next video you'll see, which will say part 2, will be the pour for this one. Remember to like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Everyday Art by Brittany Gunter. Instagram under the same thing. I'll try to put links in the description, and I will put all of these colors in the description and all supplies.